Isn't it amazing how many things a busy woman can juggle in her day? Housework, cooking, kids and work, shopping, exercise, paying the bills. Priorities in life that a woman tries to manage in her day. Yet what should be one of the top priorities in our life is often overlooked: women's health checks. Cervical cancer is not something we like to think about, but it can be prevented, and it just takes a minute. Just a minute of thought to schedule and make an appointment for your pap smear or HPV immunisation. A minute of time in your busy day to think about your own health and well-being.
Just a minute. What does HPV actually mean? HPV stands for human papillomavirus. Viruses that cause skin and
genital warts and some cancers. In fact, it's HPV that has been identified in nearly 100% of cervical cancer cases. Anyone who's ever had sex can be affected
by the HPV, even if they've been with the one partner for a long time or haven't had sex for a long time. HPV is very common. But the good news is the government has introduced an HPV vaccine, which will prevent
most, but unfortunately not all, cervical cancer.
HPV is the most common cause of cervical cancer, where cancerous cells grow on the cervix at the neck of the womb, like a skin cancer. It's important that we check the cervix regularly through a quick and simple test called a pap smear that can detect abnormal or precancerous cells which could develop into cancer over time.
A lot of women don't know how important it is to have regular pap smears to check for abnormal cells. Because there are no symptoms,
you won't notice any changes. It makes me sad that Aboriginal women are more than 4 times more likely to die of cervical cancer
than other women in Australia. But if only women would talk more openly and encourage and
educate each other about HPV, cervical cancer and the importance of regular pap smears, we'd all be a lot better off.
If you've ever had sex, it is most likely that you have been exposed to at least one type of HPV in your lifetime. There are usually no symptoms, the infection is short-lived and clears naturally. Therefore, most women with HPV will not develop cervical cancer. If, however, your body is unable to clear some types of the HPV, you may be at risk of developing cervical cancer, and smokers have a higher risk than non-smokers. It may take up to 10 years for cervical cancer to develop, and that's why it is important to have regular pap smears. The vaccine that is now available for you only protects against HPV types that cause 70% of cervical cancers. So even after the vaccine, it is important that you have regular pap smears.
It's all good and well having this great vaccine, but if we, the parents and guardians of young girls,
don't give permission for immunisation, they're not allowed to have it. When my auntie died of cervical cancer, it made me realise how important it was
for me to get immunised at school. I read the vaccine they use is most effective for girls before they start having sexual contact, which is me. But
thankfully, the vaccine is still helpful for sexually active girls, which is me.
And vaccinations are available from your local doctor or community immunisation clinic, and free. Free if you're under 27, which isn't me.
So you've only got until June 2009 to receive the free vaccination. So if you're under the age of 27, or a parent of a girl aged 12 or older who missed out on the vaccination at school, it is highly recommended that you discuss HPV immunisation with your doctor.
Every woman is unique.
But what we all have in common is, well, you know, it's what makes
us women. Some women, understandably, find pap smears a bit personal and
uncomfortable. It's one of those over in just a minute must-dos in life. The speculum is a special instrument the doctor uses so that
the cervix can be seen clearly and a sample of cells can be brushed from the surface. It's quick and easy.
A pap smear is needed regularly for any woman who's ever had any kind of sex, regardless of her
Age, background or sexual orientation. Although, if you're over 70 like me, check with your doctor. You mightn't need one anymore.
For the most accurate result, a pap smear is best done in the middle of
Your cycle, although any time in the cycle is fine. And remember, you still need to have a pap smear even if you've had the HPV vaccination.
I feel more comfortable with the female doctor. And I also
like to take my sister with me. She always helps me to relax. My mum used
To take a translator with her when we first moved to Australia.
I find myself humming to take my mind off it. And now, I'm fine with it. And now it's just like any other visit to the doctor.
When booking your next pap smear appointment, you can visit your regular doctor, or you can choose to go to another doctor at a different practice. It is also okay to ask for a female doctor if you feel more comfortable. As well as your local doctor, you may be able to go to a community or women's health centre, a family planning clinic, a sexual health clinic, or your Aboriginal medical service.
When it comes to family and the people we love, women are very good at placing themselves second. But it's important to find time to be responsible for our own health, both for our own sake and for our family. Please take the time in your busy life to think about you for just a minute.